Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the CXO Learning Series, where we continue to learn and grow together as a community. We have had an incredible week so far, and today is no exception with two more exciting sessions lined up. So let's get started. Our first speaker for today is Nikhil Gupta and his buddy Alok. So over to you, Alok. He will be introducing him.
Perfect. Welcome all, and thank you for joining this session today. So I'm very pleased and honored to welcome Mr. Nikhil Gupta, a seasoned leader in technology, especially DevOps and SRE, and the organization leadership. Throughout Nikhil's career, he has been at the forefront of driving innovation while maintaining the operational stability, a challenge every modern leader must navigate through. So, if you're looking for your organization to grow and evolve with fostering the culture of innovation and accountability and also scaling systems, Nikhil is the person to go. Today, he will share key lessons from his journey, the real world insights on balancing the demands of innovation and stability, along with some actionable strategies that the leaders in this group can really take something from. On personal front, he's an ardent reader, and he likes to innovate. And he's from Hyderabad. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Nikhil Gupta. Over to you, Nikhil.
Hey, thank you, Alok. Thank you for such a lovely introduction. And good evening, everyone. Thank you for sparing time from your evenings to listen to me. You have made it to the fourth day of the learning series, and that is very hard for me. And it is also challenging in a way to me to keep the interest going after, especially after the power pact yesterday with Tejaswini and Vishali. They have really raised the bar, and I'll try to, keep up the bar. So let's start the day by imagining about a company where where ideas free flow, where groundbreaking ideas flow freely, transforming industries and captivating their customers. Whichever industry, whichever market this company goes to, it wins the market. It operates like a well-funded or well-oiled machine, delivering constant quality and exceeding the performance bars that it sets for itself all the time. It is an investor's darling, and everybody loves to invest in this company. This is the power that you can achieve by balancing innovation and the operational stability. As future CXOs, as future leaders, you will be at the helm of your organizations, driving them through the volatile and uncertain world. Your ability to foster innovation during this period while maintaining the foundations of stability would be the key to success for you, yourself, as well as your company. But why is this important? It is important because today's dynamic world, staying still is not an option. Standing still is not an option at all. Businesses have to continuously adopt, businesses have to continuously innovate and keep figuring out things to stay in the race, to just stay afloat as well, right? Research shows that the companies that are highly innovative, they outpace S&P 500 by about 122% on an average. But then there is also research that shows that operational inefficiencies cause about 30% of your revenue, can take up to 30% of your revenue in case there are operational inefficiencies in your business, which is a sizable amount. So let me start by giving you 3 different examples, right? The first one would be Kodak. I believe everyone knows about Kodak. It started in 1888 by George Eastman, and it was an innovation powerhouse. Their tagline used to be, "You just press the button and we do the rest," when they invented the camera. Kodak moment is a phrase that we use even today when we are not using Kodak cameras or Kodak reels anymore. when we are using our mobile phone. Even now, we use Kodak moment as a phrase when we are trying to capture a memorable moment or a memorable, scenery for our with our family or friends. This company, which was an innovation powerhouse, was behind every movie that was being made in the 60s through its films, the Eastman color films. If you know about the Eastman color films, that was by the Kodak company. Now, even after being such a innovative company, even after being at the forefront of their technology, they lost. And they lost to the digital cameras. Once the digital cameras came to the scene, this company didn't know what to do, and they lost all their business. By the way, anyone here knows who invented the digital camera? Anyone? You could unmute yourself if you know and let us know.
Kodak, I think.
Yes, Kodak did. Kodak did. So an engineer working for Kodak in 1976 invented the digital camera. But the leadership at Kodak was so scared to lose their cash cow, their primary revenue generator, the films, that they didn't pursue it further. Eventually, companies like Sony, companies like Canon, Nikon, they extended the digital camera technology and took over the whole market. Kodak couldn't do anything. Their fear of losing their stability caused them the whole business. The second example that I want to take is Nokia. Now, I believe everybody understands or everybody knows that Nokia was a mobile phone powerhouse. It was one of the biggest. It was not one of the biggest. It was the largest mobile phone manufacturers in the 90s. But how many people here know that Nokia was actually, Nokia, when it started in 1865, they were a paper mill. They were producing paper for newspapers in Finland. From producing paper, they continued to innovate. They continued to get into different industries. Eventually, about 130 years later, becoming the largest mobile phone producer in the world. This company knew what innovation is. It is not that this company didn't know the innovation, right? But they were so enamored by that point in time. They were so enamored by their leadership in the mobile technology, their leadership in the hardware space, that they could not see the storm coming their way in the ways of Android and iPhone. So much so that their leadership dismissed Android and iPhone as niche markets, which would probably never catch up. The rest is history, but later on they tried to salvage the situation by merging with Microsoft, but it was too late already, right? Now, these two examples have been about the companies which could not see the trend or were too afraid to make the changes because of losing stability, because of the fear of losing stability. The third example that I'm going to take is about a company which was innovating too much and which didn't care about stability. It was innovating at a pace that could not be matched by anyone. They were afraid that their competitors would catch up. They were so afraid that they didn't even care whether their product works or not, and they launched it in the market. The company's name is Theranos, and Elizabeth Holmes was their founder. Elizabeth Holmes was one of the youngest self-made billionaires in the silicon industry. She was at one point in time popularized by the media as the female Steve Jobs because of her innovations that she was doing. What she was trying to do was she was trying to revolutionize the healthcare industry. She wanted to take away the pain that everybody feels when there are blood tests. She wanted to conduct hundreds of blood tests with one drop of blood, the similar way that we test glucose today using glucometer. In her pursuit to drive this innovation, she did not worry or she did not care whether the product is quality or not, whether her tech actually worked. What led was a downward spiral, eventually making her being arrested and the company being shut for fraud. Now, there are many such examples. There are many more such examples that we can keep talking about, many in India as well. Be it the Ambassador car, the Kingfisher Airlines, the Jet Airways, or Videocon industries, right? But what do these stories tell us? What do we learn from these stories? Number one, if you don't innovate, someone else will. If you don't seize the future, someone else will. If you don't build on stability and trust, someone else will. So what do? How do we solve this? As leaders, it is our responsibility to guide our organizations through this, and we need to ensure that we don't do the same mistakes that people at Nokia, people at Kodak, or at Theranos did, right? I have 3 principles that I would want to share with you on this today. Principle number 1 is stability fuels innovation. Stability is not, it's not mutually exclusive from innovation. It actually fuels it. When there is stability in your system, when your systems are stable, your employees, your employees basically feel more confident about experimenting, about taking risks. Your customers also feel more confident dealing with you. Would you have ordered on Amazon if you didn't know that the order would actually be delivered with the same quality that you expected and on the day when you expected it to be delivered? Probably not. And that is why Amazon is one of the most innovative companies in the world, right? Because they have created this reliability around their product, around their brand, that people know that if I'm ordering from Amazon, it will be delivered with the quality that I expect it to be, right? So what we need to do is we need to ensure that stability is there in our systems. We need to invest in processes like testing our products, monitoring our systems, automation. These things may seem like cost centers right now, but eventually they create long-term freedom to innovate. So please invest in your stability, invest in the reliability of your systems. Number 2 would be build resilient systems and teams. Now, resilience is your ability to get up from failure and bounce back. And it applies to both systems as well as teams, as well as people. Design your systems for failure. Think for the worst and design your systems for that. Consider that things would fail when you hit the market. You would only know the impact when the rubber meets the road, right? So plan for that. Have backup plans. Have systems which have load balancing. Have systems through which you can do incremental rollouts. These things would help you prepare for the worst. Empower your people to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. I always promote something called the blameless postmortems. Instead of punishing people for their mistakes, use them as learning moments. Use them as springboard to improve. This encourages both accountability and innovation. Number 3 would be leadership enables synergy. Leadership is what ties everything together. It is a leader's responsibility to set a vision where innovation and stability are seen as complementary to each other and not as competing goals. Communicate clearly to your teams to make sure that they understand how both stability as well as innovation are critical for your organization's success. And you yourself should know when to push for groundbreaking, bold innovation and when to reinforce operational stability. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are also the key takeaways that I want you to carry from this session. In closing, I would say balancing innovation and stability is not about choosing one over the other. It is about creating an environment where they reinforce each other. As leaders, think of this balance like tuning your radio. It may take time to make adjustments, but when you find the right signal, the results are extraordinary. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, Nikhil session. It very interesting. I mean, we keep on hearing innovative solution, etc. But there has to be a structure behind it, and I think stability is the bedrock of it. That's what I got out of the session. And thanks a lot for sharing. And we're open for any questions if you have.
Hi, Nikhil. Can I go?
Yes, please.
So great presentation, Nikhil. So one quick question. You talked about the dangers of not innovating and as well as innovating at a very fast pace. So as per you, internationally or within India, which company is able to tread that balancing act?
Okay, there are many, I would say. Apple, I would say, is probably the prime example. Amazon would be another. Amazon keeps innovating, keeps finding new ways to get back to their customers, give value to the customers. Microsoft, I would say, is one company which faltered and then has come back. So it is a prime example of when they were great and then they were not so great and then they are great again, right? So from that perspective, I would say yes, Microsoft is one of the most innovative companies.
Thanks.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. I guess, Nikhil, you nailed in the session. Everyone understood everything. So thank you, Nikhil, for such an insightful session. You combined leadership and innovation very well. I'm sure everyone found it valuable.